Yo, what's good, fellas? Alright, we got another highly requested reaction video, man. And it's just up my alley, bro. This is like it's another Kawaki video. That's crazy. Yo, a lot of people have been hating on Kawaki big time. But you know what? I think that man deserves better than this, bro. To call Kawaki Naruto's biggest fraud is kind of crazy. You know what I think it is? I think it's the fact that Kawaki just hasn't had a fair fight yet. I think if Kawaki gets one fight and he just dominates, I think the fraud allegations will go away. But that's not the whole story though. They're calling Kawaki a fraud because he just keeps taking L's and Boruto is inching closer and closer back into the village. I ain't gonna lie, now thinking about it, he might be a real fraud. But the question here, hold on. Answer this in the comment section. Is Kawaki more of a fraud than Code? Now that's a hard question right there. You know what? To me, I'm gonna have to say no. I'm gonna have to say no. Because Code's character was built to be a fraud. It don't get more fraudulent than that. But of course, that's not the focus of the video. And before we get into the video, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe if you are new. And I ain't gonna lie, I do have a banger that's coming out on Monday. So I need a lot of you guys to tune in on that. Because we're gonna be going crazy for the rest of January and all of February. And for chapter 7, we're gonna be going live again for that too. But this time I might have to private the VOD, I ain't gonna lie. They out here looking and searching for me. I'm gonna stay hidden in the shadows though. But anyway, Naruto Explained, his channel will be in the description below. If you want to go check him out, go check him out. And let's get into the video.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explained here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about something that Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter 6 has brought into question, which is the situation
Here it goes.
Kawaki's character finds himself in for the chapter because Kawaki was taken out by MITSUKI off screen
again, bro. Y'all gonna hold it against my boy. And now hold on, if it comes out that MITSUKI has actually been preparing something for Boruto, because we all know MITSUKI wants to unalive Boruto, so obviously he's not gonna spend 3 years doing nothing. And is it so hard to believe he kind of actually like went to Orochimaru, his parent, so he can study more on the Otsutsuki? Maybe he came up with something like an anesthesia that's capable of even affecting Otsutsuki. Did y'all ever even think of that? Like, nah, the Kawaki, MITSUKI just knocked him out, bro. Oh my god. Damn, that's crazy. Now, I feel like people are just more underestimating MITSUKI and holding Kawaki to a high regard. That's the problem. I think that's the real problem. Like, it's pretty apparent that Kishimoto is trying to show us that MITSUKI has something up his sleeve. Is he gonna beat Boruto? No, he's not. Will he probably surprise a lot of you? Probably. You know, that's why I say, like, I'm really good at, I don't want to say power scaling per se, but I'm really good at analyzing different manga and anime because I know how these manga artists think. They know what y'all thinking about MITSUKI, and they know how y'all think about Boruto. So far, nobody thinks MITSUKI could win. Or let me not say win, because winning for MITSUKI would probably mean the death of Boruto. So let's just say nobody thinks MITSUKI can actually be a threat to Boruto. I don't know. Just wait for the video to come out. Wait for the video, man. I can't wait to get this out though.
Concerned that Kawaki is on fraud watch, and as some of you guys joke down below in the comment section, he's not just on fraud watch, but that boy is currently on trial for defrauding readers of the Boruto manga. However, I think what we're getting with Kawaki,
it hasn't been pretty good for Kawaki.
With you in today's video, I'm going to explain to you why. I'm not going to waste time going over the whole how was Kawaki poisoned. That makes no sense. Because I already did a video blowing up this whole poison thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't work on Otsutsuki, that whole argument. It doesn't hold any weight, so I'm not going to repeat any of those talking.
Nah, the whole thing about the poison thing, I get it. You know, it's Otsutsuki. They're supposed to be like immune to all different types of poison. When that's probably not really true. Let's just think about it as like, in Otsutsuki's immune system is just so strong that even the most toxic poisons or even the most lethal poisons can be just shrugged off like a light alcoholic drink, like a shot. Like that's it. That's all it is to him. So to kill an Otsutsuki with poison, you would need an absurd amount. Probably no amounts of toxins will do it. Like if you just get normal poison and just keep stacking it up, probably it wouldn't do anything. It'd probably have to be like a special kind, only designed for them. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it is still confusing to me how MITSUKI was able to knock Kawaki out. Hey, I guess it'll probably be revealed later on.
points here. If you're curious about that, you can watch that video. But I do want to circle back to the whole Kawaki thing, because I think what we're getting
I don't think it's a
is,
retcon though.
with Kawaki's character, is actually something that is setting up for a bigger payoff at the end that will come into importance later on in the story. But it can be hard to see it now if you aren't taking stock of what the narrative is actually currently doing for us. Typically, when you get shown in time skips, you expect a character to come out of said time skip with noticeable bumps and power creeps that go past the previous benchmarks that we saw previously. Classic example in Naruto being how in Naruto Part 1, Jonin level was considered a really big deal. And then you
God, that is crazy.
skipping at people like Naruto and
Facts.
Sai and Sakura, they are all at Jonin levels of power. Kage level in Naruto Part 1 was considered to be this extremely exclusive high bar that not many people could climb up to, which is...
And I could make a video on that too. Just being Jonin level isn't really enough to do anything at this point. Like in Shippuden, when you called a character like Kage level, it was like the cream of the crop. But now in Boruto, being Kage level is equivalent to being a Jonin in Shippuden. Not even like Part 1. Like that's how advanced the scaling has gotten. And it's all thanks to the 4th grade Shinobi War. But it all started during the Pain arc. That's when everything started to go a little wonky. Everything started to get a little overpowered once they introduced that Rinnegan. But it's not a bad thing though. It's not a bad thing at all. We love that around here. Like I said in my Shinju video, I said like Sarada's way past Jonin level at this point. And some of y'all took it as an insult, like I was insulting her. Like, nah bro, nah, she's Kage level. Like she's definitely Kage level. Like, okay, yeah, she's Kage level for sure. I did say she's way past Jonin level, but it's just the fact that I said the word Jonin. I should have said Kage. But y'all get the point, right? Like some people take it as an insult now. Like Jonin is just weak. Hey, okay, I see where we came to.
That's why heavy Sasuke, which reminder that is Sasuke who does not have the Mangekyo Sharingan. That Sasuke being able to destroy 7 and Yamato.
It's a perfect example of a Kage level guy, Sasuke.
But as we would continue to see the story as it progressed,
even as early as this,
Kage level became something that didn't matter as much because we were going into 10 tails levels and demigod levels and
there it
god
goes.
levels of power, 6 pass levels of power and beyond. With Kawaki, we have a current character.
That's when the scaling went kind of crazy.
And you could argue that at the end of Part 1, he was as strong as Jigen, slightly weaker than Jigen, or maybe slightly stronger than Jigen, but he was weaker than the Ishiki and weaker than Barrier Mode Naruto and weaker than Code Without Limiters. The benchmarks at the end of Boruto Naruto Next Generations, as we had them, were Barrier Mode Naruto, Ishiki, Damon, and Code Without Limiters, and most importantly, Jigen. They were the measuring sticks that were used by the narrative, and Jigen was the minimum bare floor that people were using to say, oh, this is a new threat. Are they stronger than Jigen?
That's how it is now.
Jigen? Can they handle a Jigen level threat? And
the scaling will always look. Here's the thing: the scaling for a villain will always be like rooted in Jigen talks. It's always gonna go down to Jigen talks. That happened for Code, and now it's happening with the Shinju. Already stronger than Jigen, probably. And then it's gonna get like, all right, what about Code? Not hard to be stronger than Code. It's not. And I ain't gonna lie, bro. I know about the statements and everything. I know about the statements. I know I'm not the only one that thinks this. I've been seeing the comments, but I've been ignoring it. I know about the statements about Code being stronger than Jigen without the limiters. It's like, I'm looking at him, it's like, yo, he's not showing me nothing. Like, I'm looking at Naruto versus Jigen. He was really struggling with this dude, like, and it's not because of his raw stats or anything. That dude, Jigen, he just has hacks. And I'm looking at Code, I'm like, at Naruto and Sasuke's peak, them working together, you're telling me they can't beat Code? Like, I don't know. But the thing is, I feel like Kawaki's getting treated unfairly. Because if you look at all the L's he took, he got his face planted in the dirt by a Shinju. It had a Rinnegan, meaning it was stronger than the rest. And then it was just the thing about Mitsuki. That's literally it. Now the thing that really makes Kawaki a fraud is he just does dumb stuff. Like, to me, he just doesn't make smart decisions. Like his decision to try to attack Boruto instead of just finishing off Code while he was sitting there unable to defend himself, and he let him get away. Could have finished him off right there. That's just one of many things. But like I said, what Kishimoto does, he likes to surprise you guys a lot with stuff you don't think is gonna happen. So I suspect when Kawaki gets that first fight, it's gonna be something crazy. And when it happens, just watch the narrative switch up, bro. Watch the narrative switch up. Oh, dang. I want to see him fight Boruto now. Like, it's gonna be that bad, I'm trying to tell you. When he actually gets the fair fight he deserves, y'all are A, going to be surprised at how much he grown as a fighter, or B, he's just gonna have some crazy ass hacks. And that right there is just gonna flip the narrative around.
Which made Damon tap dancing on Code's spine while singing Baby Shark do do do. So hilarious and scary at the same time. There were levels to this game for expectations, and many of us expected Kawaki to come out higher and swinging at the fences as this big bad monster coming up out of the time skip. However, what we're seeing so far makes it feel as if Kawaki was a bit of an afterthought. When Boruto pulled up into the village, he wasn't even concerned about Kawaki, partly because his attention was locked in on Code. But given
I'm saying, that's what do y'all expect?
So far,
he's not the main character.
His base has grown in 3 years. It doesn't seem as if he's not worried about Kawaki as he currently is, because base Boruto is already going so high above Jigen and isn't even using his Chroma Shield that it's scary. Then we got the Shinju, who appear to be going even further beyond that, just based off what we've seen. So Kawaki looks even less impressive than before, and people holding Kawaki stocks are all selling before it crashes.
Oh my
That's
god.
exactly why.
Oh my god. Selling stocks before it crashes. First of all, I understand what he's saying, but a lot of people contradict themselves. Like, listen to me carefully. A lot of people contradict themselves when talking about stuff like this. Because I could have sworn everybody was trying to make comparisons about how strong Sasuke was at the beginning of Shippuden, and then going as far as to compare him to Boruto, because of course Sasuke trained him, and to compare Kawaki to Naruto. So it's like, we all know how weak Naruto started off in Shippuden. Well, I'm not gonna say weak, but how underwhelming his power was. A lot of people say this. It's like, yo, y'all believe Kawaki will be stronger than Boruto at the end. So if Kawaki is supposed to represent Naruto in this situation and Boruto Sasuke, Boruto is just supposed to start off that much stronger than Kawaki. And it might seem Boruto's just not paying attention to Kawaki because he knows there's a greater threat at hand. Kawaki's not a threat in Konoha. He knows he wouldn't do anything to harm his friends or nothing. It's just him he's worried about. He doesn't have to worry about Kawaki. He has much bigger problems right now. So if it seems like Kawaki is an afterthought, guess what? He is an afterthought. Because this problem right here you see on the screen, this not only threatens the shinobi world, but the world as a whole. Like, we're probably watching the evolution of new gods at this point. That's how bad it is. So if I'm Boruto, I'm like, excuse me if I don't want to direct all my attention to Kawaki at this point.
I like what we're seeing here with Kawaki, because while he has clearly trained in the sense that he's showing better usage of Isuki's dojutsu via the ability to use the dojutsu multiple times without tiring out like we saw in part 1, and he's also shown us that he's learned the ability to fly. So there is
definitely got stronger
that we're seeing with Kawaki in terms of growth, but the most important thing is that Kawaki is showing us that during this 3-year time skip, he's actually walking the path that Naruto did during the initial time skip between the end of the 4th Ninja War and the first start that we had of the Boruto era. There was a 14-year time skip between the end of Naruto chapter 699 and chapter 700 and Naruto Gaiden, the 7th Hokage, and the Scarlet Spring, i.e. chapters 701 to 710. We know Naruto got stronger during that time, but his battle sense had gotten very rusty. Naruto, once he became Hokage for a majority of that time, became complacent with where his power was, and he didn't actually actively start training again until after the Shin-Uchiha stuff. Kawaki is walking a similar path based on what we've seen. He's improved during that 3-year time skip, but his battle senses, they have dulled. Kawaki from 3 years ago was not going to get caught off guard by a Claw Grime, a Rinnegan, or no Rinnegan, because
for sure
his battle senses, they were razor sharp. Because
nah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. I'm not gonna lie. Boruto's been gone for 3 years. You know, your power hasn't gotten weaker. Your battle senses have gotten weaker, and that's what makes people rusty. Now that Boruto's back and Kawaki's like, he's gonna be forced automatically to be more on edge, especially after what Mitsuki did to him. It's just more trust lost. So like, don't even be surprised right now if Kawaki just moves way different now. Just purely based off that. That's kind of disrespectful. And like I said, I don't think he'll want to fight Mitsuki or nothing like that. It'll just make him more suspicious of everybody. Maybe maybe he thinks somebody's gonna like work with Boruto, in which he is. Like, he might find out that Shikamaru's secretly working sometime later down the road. And I heard a lot of people say, like, because of that, Kawaki might try to get rid of Shikamaru. Either seal him up or, you know, Get him out of here. One direction I can probably see Kawaki going is to go as far as to like just seal everybody who even starts to overcome omnipotence, so the secret could stay a secret. So it's like, all right, Shikamaru's starting to like break free, boom, get sealed. All right, Amato, same thing, get sealed. It's gonna happen with a lot of people until it's like, all right, damn, nearly all the village is sealed in a Daikokuten dimension. That's why you really don't see nobody in the ending, or let me not say the ending. What is it, the prologue? Yeah, the prologue of Boruto, when Boruto and Kawaki are fighting on the stone monuments. It's only just a theory for now, but it's a solid one that makes sense because we know Kawaki would go to great lengths to keep Naruto safe, or to keep the secret safe. Something to think about.
Thing that he'd known for most of his life up until that point was true combat, fighting life or death battles via training with JOUGAN daily and getting punishments from people like Delta. When Kawaki was first introduced, there was a clear distinction between himself and the other members of Team 7 because he was someone who had a real sense of combat because he had seen real combat. That's
yeah, just look at how he's moving right here.
7 had never experienced life or death.
He could probably do that. It's just gonna take a fight or two. He gonna get back into it. If he is rusty.
Something different altogether. Since he's been in Konoha living Boruto's life, the only person who he's had to worry about being stronger than him was Damon. The only real action that he probably had.
Yeah, and Damon wasn't a real threat.
Someone who at the start of the time skip, even using Sage Mode, wouldn't have been strong enough to actually make that much of a challenge for Kawaki given all of his Hack's abilities. Now, where MITSUKI is currently with Sage Mode, we don't know. But we do know that Sage Mode MITSUKI,
maybe you gotta tune in the video.
Fighting against
tune
Kawaki, was still able to dodge his attacks, so he wouldn't have put up that much of a fight against somebody like Kawaki at full power. It was inevitable that Kawaki became rusty under these conditions, just as Naruto getting the most training that he had after he became Hokage, but before the events of Naruto chapter 700. The most training that Naruto had gotten was training Boruto directly in combat via hide-and-seek combat drills where Naruto will use shadow clones to train Boruto while Naruto would handle day-to-day operations as Hokage, which eventually got to a point where it didn't even satisfy Boruto. But like Kawaki, once Naruto became Hokage, he lost the drive to actually train. And the little bit of training he did wasn't anything special. It took Kurama making fun of Naruto for getting rusty after becoming Hokage for him to start back getting into the swing of things training again, which we saw in the anime. Kawaki just saw Boruto.
And of course, yeah, that he's gonna say having Boruto in the village does help that. Also, having a rival does help you get stronger. Not even just in anime, but in real life as well. So now that Boruto, you know, he came back. And another problem, Kawaki now knows that the Shinju are after Naruto. And what's the common theme of Naruto? True strength comes when you have something to protect, right? Like, it's gonna be a combination of Kawaki just wanting to protect Naruto and wanting to unalive Boruto, which is gonna just force Kawaki to grow to a level he's never been. And it's like having Boruto as a rival, right? He's gonna see how powerful he become. Maybe they will fight and Kawaki will lose. That's gonna, you know, put the Kawaki slam at an all-time high. And if Kawaki is anything like Naruto, he's gonna want to get stronger. Not just to complete his goals, but to also defeat the Shinju as well. It's all written on the wall.
Boruto pulled back up into the village with his own brand new jutsu, the Flying Raijin Jutsu. Kawaki was getting tagged off guard by the primes. The Shinju are now.
Kawaki seen him plop out that Flying Raijin. He was kind of impressed.
Issue that MITSUKI was able to tag Kawaki off guard and knock him unconscious. Again, it's off guard, but for someone with as much pride as Kawaki, that's going to light a fire in him to knock off the rust, or it's going to make him more desperate and mistake prone than ever before. Both of which are really good storytelling because it adds additional.
Are the Shinju getting absorbed? Hold on, let me chill. Like, I'm joking, but I'm not really joking. I mean, it could be, it's a possibility. Or does the Shinju now support Kawaki's cause? I don't know. But that's a way he can get strength. It's not the way Naruto would, but it's strength.
Layers to the conflict while also continuing to build on parallels. We saw how Boruto reacted to Kawaki having more skill with the Karma Seal and being more experienced in the viciousness of combat, where Boruto's pretty ninjutsu and elegant Hyuga Palm strikes, they didn't mean anything against a guy willing to fire out Chakra Blast at random, telling Boruto Either you learn to absorb these
Nah, this
chakra
fight was
blasts and you
funny.
keep getting hit by them until you learn to use karma, and if you die in the process, yo fam, you just die in the process. Eventually, Boruto got to a point where he
he was trained by JOUGAN, bro. He's tough.
A final sparring match before Kawaki eventually overtook him again at the end of part 1 of the story. But with Boruto, we watched that fire grow inside of him, and he pushed his limits to reach the bar that was set for him. How does Kawaki react when he's the one playing catch up? That's going to be interesting from a narrative that
would be interesting
with the story. Now, I get it. It can be really frustrating to see
Kawaki playing catch up instead of Boruto.
Come out of the time skip as some Giga Chad, end up getting exposed as being a virgin Konoha in the worst case, or at the best case scenario, he's a voluntary celibate Shino, where he's rusty but he can knock it off with a little bit of effort, opposed to someone utterly
no, that's crazy.
Konoha. However,
him call a voluntary celibate
is something I think works because it continues that reverse parallel. Sasuke popped up out of the Naruto time skip ahead of Naruto, and in the
there it goes.
We got after the 4th Ninja War, both the 14-year time skip and then the additional year following the Shin arc. Sasuke had way less rust on him than Naruto did. Boruto, being the one more seasoned in combat and better improved with a deeper bag of jutsu that he can dig into, it makes a lot more sense.
Exactly.
He's spent a year directly training under Sasuke, and he's been running for his life from the moment he left the village, and Boruto has had the added incentive to grow stronger because he just wants to avenge his sensei and turn him back to normal. He feels guilt because of that. That's the difference between Boruto and Kawaki right now. Boruto's in a position where life gave him a bag of turds, and he had to find a way to turn those turds and eliminate.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, Boruto and Kawaki both have valid reasons to want to get stronger. Boruto to save his master and save the shinobi world, Kawaki to protect Naruto and destroy Boruto. And you know the thing that's so exciting? Y'all are here with me. In like 5-10 years from now, we're gonna be looking back and we're gonna be like, wow, we really thought this and we really thought that. Both of their ideals are gonna clash at the end to see who became the strongest. But let me know what y'all would do if Boruto lost. I don't know. Like Sasuke, who lost at the end to Naruto in the final valley and everything. If you guys believe that Kawaki and Boruto is similar to like the path that Naruto and Sasuke took, then canonically Boruto is supposed to lose. I don't know. We gotta see.
Versus Kawaki, he's currently sitting at the buffet table for the first time in his life, and he's starting to feel that pressure around his waist that comes from eating a little more than he can handle, and he's slower because he's bloated, which is basically saying Kawaki got fat and rusty while living a life of luxury, whereas Boruto is still starving and hungry, and
it's only natural.
Is driving
it's only natural
sharper because he's in survival mode right now. He's
exactly all the time.
Right now. I don't think we have anything to worry about, honestly. It's not like Kawaki will end up being any worse off than we saw him in the last manga chapter, where the boy is going night-night, counting ramen bowls while he's hugging his Naruto blanket, which...
Be fair, bro. Be fair. Be fair. I'm done with this video. All I gotta say is be fair to him, bro. But anyway, cool video from Naruto Explained. Like I said, his channel will be down below in the description, so go check him out. But the premise of the video is be fair to Kawaki, man. Hey, if he actually fights and then he takes an L, maybe an L that he's not supposed to take, then we can start having the fraud conversations. Until now, when it comes to fighting, I don't think he's a fraud. But everything else, you can call him a fraud for. Just off purely holding a lie that messed up against Boruto, yeah, it's kind of messed up, bro. You can call him a fraud in that aspect. Like, he's literally a fraud. Like the pure definition of a fraud, that is Kawaki. But it's not for the reason the video suggests. But anyway, I'm about to get out of here. If you guys like this video and you want to see more like this, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Any more reactions, leave it down in the comment section, any suggestions and everything. And yeah, all I gotta say is be fair and be patient. Kawaki's time will come. Just like how Naruto's time in Shippuden came, even if it was a little bit later, it came, right? But anyway, I'm out. Peace.